everybody, welcome back. So today we're going really back in time to the pulp era in the 1930s and a relatively obscure person, a Professor Jameson. Professor Jameson slept for thousands of years. He had his body shot into space when he was dead by earthly standards, and he was found millions of years, I think maybe 40 million years later, and revived and put into a mechanical device by an alien species. So it was popular in his day. It's kind of forgotten about now, but it's interesting. So Professor Jameson, from Neil R. Jones's pulp science fiction stories, is a fascinating character whose circumstances would necessitate a very unique approach to therapy. Having had his brain preserved for millions of years and then transplanted into a robot body by an alien race, the Zoromes, his therapeutic needs would be highly unconventional. Given his background as a brilliant scientist and his extraordinary experiences, he wouldn't likely benefit from traditional talk therapy focused on childhood trauma or interpersonal relationships in the human sense. Instead, his therapy would probably be a blend of existential therapy. Professor Jameson would undoubtedly grapple with profound existential questions. He has witnessed the death of his entire species, experienced unimaginable spans of time, and exists in a form entirely alien to his original humanity. Therapy would focus on helping him find meaning and purpose in his new immortal existence, confronting feelings of isolation and coming to terms with the vastness of the cosmos and his place within it. Adaptation and integration therapy, speculative sci-fi base. This would be a crucial element. He would need to adapt to his new robotic body and its capabilities and its limitations. The therapy might involve advanced neurofeedback or simulated environments to help him fully integrate his consciousness with his new form. It would also address any dissociation or identity issues arising from his transformation from organic human to machine being. Interspecies cultural competency training. Living among the Zoromes, Professor Jameson would need to navigate their culture, communication methods, telepathy, and alien perspectives. Therapy might involve helping him understand and adapt to Zorome social norms, resolve any interspecies misunderstandings, and build effective relationships with his new companions. Essentially, he'd be a therapist for himself. That's really what this is, because he'd be a human species of one, because the human species wiped out. There'd be no one to do therapy for except himself. Cognitive restructuring for time dilation. His perception of time would be vastly different from a human's. Living for millions of years would make human concern seem trivial. Therapy might focus on helping him manage the psychological impact of such immense time scales, perhaps finding ways to focus on present experiences or long-term goals that span millennia. Trauma-informed therapy for species extinction. While not a direct personal trauma in the traditional sense, the knowledge of humanity's demise would undoubtedly weigh heavily on him. Therapy might involve processing the immense loss, finding ways to honor his past, and perhaps even contributing to the preservation of knowledge or life in the universe as a way of continuing humanity's legacy. Dehumanization or rehumanization. This is a speculative one, but depending on whether he wished to embrace his new identity fully as a Zorome-like entity or retain more of his human essence, therapy could aim at either process. It might involve letting go of certain human emotional responses, or conversely, finding ways to maintain connection to human concepts of empathy, creativity, and individuality within his mechanical form. Essentially, Professor Jameson's therapy would be less about curing a disorder and more about guiding him through an unprecedented and profound existential transformation, ensuring his psychological well-being as the last human in a vast alien universe. So what do you think? What do you think about his condition and the existential approach? Let me know in the comments, and I'll speak to you next time.